Hello, welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I say today, it's this month's.
Yeah, it's been quite a wild one.
Yes. We've now decided with the new year, we're changing up how we do our podcast. So we've got just the audio that will be going onto Spotify as
It'd be
a
kind of
podcast
weird if we
podcast.
put the video onto Spotify because I don't quite think you can do that.
No, I don't think you
I
can
don't think
either.
technology's reached the point where sort of can have videos.
Actually,
you can have
you
the
can.
GIFs. You can have the GIFs,
Yeah.
there's the 2-second GIFs.
So we can have like a 2-second gif.
But if you,
But yeah, so if you want to watch the full podcast, yeah.
subscribe to our Patreon.
No, we didn't have a Patreon.
We can start a Patreon.
Yeah, but if you want to hear the full podcast, go to our Spotify. And if you just want to watch the clips of us doing stupid stuff and talking about
then
specific things,
Stay subscribed to the channel so you get
On YouTube.
notifications.
but I do recommend subscribing to both the Spotify and the.
Can you subscribe to Spotify?
I think you can put like notifications on, so when we release a new podcast, it comes up.
Maybe, yeah. We're uploading in what day we're going to upload on each month. I feel like it'll just vary. We don't really have a day because it depends on we're both free.
Yeah, I think so. So it'll be at some point during a month, or you will get one at least one every month.
Yeah, if you remember to upload. It's very
Or do I
rare.
just do it at the end of every month? Because that way we've guaranteed recorded one at some point during that month.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, but then the issue is, that works fine.
What's the issue?
No, I realise it doesn't make it works fine. Oh, you peaked the audio with that one cough.
Well, obviously, it's a pretty mighty cough. Look, you just have little boy coughs, whereas I have pretty big manly coughs. You can't handle it.
No, you just cough like an idiot, that's why.
I don't. I've started getting into the habit now where I cough into my arm.
What, so you've just got like a really rank elbow?
Is that normal?
I think that's what they encourage you to do. That's like the Dracula cough.
It's like whenever I'm going to work, if I'm like, serving food or whatever, I always cough into my arm. But then I have my other hand behind it anyways.
Oh, so so anything that misses your arm, you catch in your
I
other
catch
hand.
in my hand.
Yeah, okay, good thinking.
It is what you're meant to do.
I think you are supposed to cough into your elbow, but just not catch it with the other hand.
Yeah, okay, I'll try something else now.
It's like when they said, oh yeah, you've got to sneeze and cough into your elbow, and then they said the new film of Handshake is where you just touch elbows. Surely that just like passes all the germs across.
That's the point.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, I would never sneeze into my elbow.
No, I
You
didn't.
have like a massive strength from your elbow
Yeah,
to
to
your
be fair,
nose.
I never cover up a sneeze anyway. I just sneeze.
I'm sorry, what? So you like projectile?
Yeah,
onto
I do the Sendo man. I just
You
go,
do-
his victory screen
There is
from
no
JoJo
way-
All Star
There's
Battle.
no way that you sneeze and then put your hand to your mouth. That's like going for a number 2 and not wiping your ass.
I think it's completely different. I think
It's
okay.
not.
I think sneezing, like if you just like sneeze, if I go like achoo, if I just go achoo, that's completely different to going for a dump and not wiping my ass.
It's not. You're doing half a job. Half a job is the same as doing nothing at all. If you sneeze and you projectile onto like the wall, you have to then clean the wall and live with the embarrassment that people have witnessed you sneezing onto the wall.
I'm not
If you
going to
go for-
paste my wall when I sneeze.
Yeah, but you can't control it. Do you
I can.
close a office?
Yeah, I internally sneeze. I go,
You totally
it's like
sneeze.
in the cartoons when they eat the bomb and then they go on the inside of the mouth. That's what I do. I
That
sneeze and
is-
go.
It's not weird.
Yeah, I go. And then smoke comes out my ears.
Every time you sneeze.
Yeah.
Or when you cough.
When I do what?
When you cough.
How many coughs? So one cough?
Every time you cough.
Yeah, every time I do a one cough.
What's a one cough?
When I one
Oh,
cough.
shut up! I know what you're getting at. No,
Yeah.
every time you do a cough,
Okay.
yeah, you don't put your hand to your mouth.
When I one cough, I don't use my hand. No.
What? To me, a PG podcast.
It is a PG podcast.
That service has to be appropriate for YouTube kids.
It is. We're talking about sneezing and coughing.
Would you ever apply this to YouTube kids?
No.
You would get less huge drama about your messages
I would. Yeah, but
because comments would be disabled.
yeah, I know. I don't think I would. Maybe I'd just do a kid-friendly episode at some point, but I don't think I'd ever put. I think it's better not.
Friendly episode.
Yeah.
Where we talk about what Vine's toy reviews.
Yeah, we release we review like anime toys.
Is there any kids anime out there?
Oh yeah, there's loads.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think before the next episode, we should watch like all like 1,000 episodes of Pokemon.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Don't like Pokemon.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't like Pokemon.
What do you like about
Because
it? Is it too edgy for you?
we have to sit through 1,000 episodes before we get to the modern day ones, which is the first time Ash actually ever wins.
I swear it's like some new chick now. Or some new,
No. In the most recent episode, Ash finally wins a tournament.
Yeah, but I swear he's being replaced by like a girl Pokemon trainer, and she's going to take the baton.
Probably. What's her name? Cinder.
It's not Cinder. It's Sydney.
Sydney. I wouldn't be surprised. Cindy.
I can't think of any female Ash names.
Speaking of recent animes, have you watched any new anime recently? Of course you haven't.
Yes, I
Absolutely
have.
useless.
Yes, I have.
What?
Okay, look, not everyone's like you and doesn't do anything during the week. Some
I
of us
do more than
actually,
you, actually.
some of us actually have jobs and university
I have a job
to attend.
and university.
You do
and a company to run.
You do 1/6 of
And a podcast to run.
You do 1/6 of a course.
Don't?
You do, because the other 5 or 6 are being done by the rest of your team.
Yeah, but I've told you about some of the people on my team.
Yeah, and
They're a hindrance.
And they're putting 110% effort in.
Want to hindering the rest of us?
Well, no, because he's thinking of more stuff to do.
Yeah, but that extra
It's enhancing the
10%,
experience.
the 10% effort works negatively against everyone else.
Like, if I had 90% effort, that's all pretty good.
Okay.
It's more than you.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's only because my physics engine was made redundant.
Yeah. But I thought your original idea was to implement the physics engine using the built-in physics engine. So you weren't really doing anything anyway.
Yeah, but nobody else knew that. I just shit elsewhere into not having to do any work.
Classic Cal.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Am I allowed to out your name on the podcast?
I think everyone knows my name anyway.
Well, not the new viewers.
Oh, my name's Callum.
And well, if you actually bothered to put the
Intro.
The intro up, you actually know
It's
that.
not. It's a new season now. We're in season 3.
If you barely put it up in season 2.
Yeah, but they can go back and watch the specific video where we made an anime OP.
Yeah, they could do better. Yeah, but that doesn't have all like the fancy text site, does it?
Yeah, it does.
No, it does. Yeah, it was a video before.
Also, jokes on you. My Instagram handles in the video description. I didn't put yours in because I don't know if you wanted random people following you on Instagram.
Well, no.
Exactly.
Yours is fine. You got like 1,000 followers anyway.
Yeah, bro. Big time.
Yeah, because you follow all the follow.
No, I don't.
You do. I feel like 90% of your followers are just follow.
They were back in the day.
And then we still are.
Yeah.
It's the reason why his following is like 2, but his followers like 100,000.
So clearly I didn't do follow for follow then. I just
You
did
should
follow.
unfollow them.
That's so mean. Why would I do something so horrible?
See, no one's question.
Oh yeah, so recent anime.
Recent anime. I've only watched one recently.
So you are useless then.
No, I've watched 2 recently. Okay, not everyone has, some of us actually do
Right,
things.
stop
like,
whinging. What have you done then?
So some of us go to work, some of us go to university. You do like 1/6 of a course.
Oh, this guy. What
Okay, I
anime did you
recently
do?
watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Any good?
Pretty decent, yeah.
What'd you give that a 10?
I give it a 9.
So it wasn't that good then.
Well, I'm starting to think it's kind of an 8.
So it definitely wasn't that good then.
It was good at the time, but then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, it's kind of generic. But at the time, it was like,
Okay. And what was the other one?
well, I've watched like the first third of Romantic Killer, and it's what's with the look?
I don't know.
It's such a garbage anime. It's so bad.
Okay.
It's so dead.
Didn't you watch Death Parade not too long ago?
Oh no! Don't remind me of Death Parade.
No, it starts off really strong.
Yeah, and then it becomes really garbage.
It does. The second half is like so bad.
Well, no, I liked all the episodes where they brought in 2 people.
Yeah.
And then they did the games, and then they resolved those. But then, as soon as it tried to have a plot with the main characters, it just became so dead.
Yeah. To be fair, I think there could have been the good plot with the God or whatever, isn't it? You know, the God dude.
He's such a pointless character.
No,
He's so opposed to the rest of them, but he does nothing about it.
I think they could have had a good plot using him though if they'd used him properly. Him and then like the head angel or whatever. But instead they didn't. Instead they had the plot focusing around this one human who killed herself.
Oh yeah, we did. No, and then the other human isn't the white-haired dude a human?
I think he used to be. I think that's the sort of thing. But again, that could have been okay, and that if that had been incorporated into the main plot line, but they didn't. They focused too much on this one girl that nobody really cares about, though she is quite
I
hot.
don't really care. I much more cared about the white-haired dude.
Yeah, because he was cool.
He was cool, and he actually had character development.
And he has like my favorite power that like in any anime or series ever.
What's
Like
his power?
people have like string manipulation. But,
Why
like,
is it your favorite power?
because it's so cool. And there's loads of animes that like people have got this ability where the
it's
thread,
not.
where they've got like really narrow thread that they can manipulate, and they like
You're just talking
trap
about Black
people.
Adam.
What?
With the one who keeps dancing, she keeps shooting at like vines.
No, not that sort of thread. As in like where it's like really narrow, like razor wire thread that you can't see. That they like catch people with it, so they're pinned up like this and they can't move. Not in a weird way.
Sorry, what are you
Not in a weird
watching?
way. That's how they immobilize them with like the threads. But then they pull. Then they
What
pull.
are you watching?
No, then they pull on the threads and it like severs them, like cuts their arm off or whatever. It's everywhere.
You've
I'm
been reading
trying-
one too many Dojinskis, mate.
No, it's a genuine thing. I'm trying to think of some really well-known.
You can tell from the jumper what he's been reading.
The Moonlight one. That anime had a really good one. He had like the dude that was like a ninja. You know the people that are like, this is gonna look really racist, but you know the ones that have got like no, they've got no eyes like that.
No, it's
when they have
typically the person with the glasses.
Yeah, they have their eyes closed. But
Yeah.
he was basically one of them, but without the glasses, and he had like silver hair and a ponytail, and he was like a
Yeah.
master assassin, but he was part of the jokey like people. But then obviously when nobody was watching, he was like dead serious, and he was like really thingy. Well, he had an ancient weapon that allowed him to manipulate these threads within the air, and so he like caught the people. Like when they'd like jump at him.
Yeah, but it's like a really obscure example from an anime that no one's
So
watched.
many anime have it. So many have it and they don't use it properly. So like in Black Clover, which I watched recently, we'll talk about in a bit, Vanessa has thread manipulation.
Okay.
And she uses it to like a wolf jumps at her and she like manipulates the threads and it like catches the wolf.
And kills her.
And then she does like pull its head off by like just tugging on the threads. So it happens loads. If you think of like thread manipulation, that's immediately the power that would come to mind. Jolene just has like a really shit version of it in JoJo.
I know hers is garbage.
What would you say the best power in anime then is?
Best power in anime.
Yeah, if you could have any like superpower or weapon or whatever that you see, 100% for me it'd be thread manipulation. That's so cool.
Now the power of Gears.
You'd want the power of Gears.
I want Lucius Gears, but without the downside of having,
You can't do that.
Why not?
I want the power of the world, but without the downside of there's a time limit.
Actually, no, to be fair, you mentioned JoJo, I got to think see, Killer Queen's quite cool, but it's so impractical that, well, I
Yeah,
do
you
have
just
one.
blow stuff up.
Or Made in Heaven.
Again, that's really impractical though, unless you just want to reset the universe.
Fine, okay. I don't know.
I think Made in Heaven would be good if you could just accelerate time for yourself. So when he moves like stupidly quick. When
Yeah.
Poochie's like running around dead fast. I think if you could do that, that's a cool power. But he basically is just accelerating the rest of the universe, which I think is a massive drawback.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to achieve heaven. Made in heaven.
I can't think of any. No, to be fair, in Code Geass, I'd go for Geass.
You would go for Geass.
Yeah, I'd go for Lucius Geass because in the second season they counteract the issue by just giving them contact lenses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they spend the whole first season building up the fact that Lelouch cannot, one day the Gears will take over him
Yeah.
and he'll be able to, use it uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And they fix it by giving him contact lenses.
It's sort of them. They shouldn't have built it up that much if that's all they were going to do. But I think it does make sense in that situation. Because, for Medusa, the whole thing is as long as you don't stare directly into her eyes, it's fine. So if she wears glasses, it doesn't turn you to stone. Or if you look at a reflection, it doesn't turn you to stone.
Or if you wear glasses.
Or if you wear glasses, it doesn't turn you to stone. You have to make direct eye contact. That sort of makes sense.
Okay.
But then that's dumb because that means that if anyone else is wearing glasses, surely then if Lelouch uses Geass on someone but they're wearing glasses, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, some people often know.
Yeah. They're like, haha, I've got contact lenses, and he just prizes their eyeball.
It wouldn't work because I feel like it wouldn't work because if you look into the glasses, it will slightly reflect and then it won't be direct eye contact.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Same with contact lenses.
Is there any point in Code Geass where he uses it on some of the glasses? I don't think there is.
No, but you wouldn't be able to use if you had a Geass. Then you wouldn't be able to use it on half the population because they either wear glasses or contact lenses of some form.
If you don't,
A lot of people wear contact lenses.
I
A
don't think it's
lot.
that common.
No, it is a lot of people.
I don't know anyone who wears contact lenses.
It's because
Most people are scared touching their eyes.
yeah, I know, but a lot of people will wear them over glasses because they don't want to look like they've got glasses. Most of the people in our year used to have needed glasses and they just wore contact lenses instead. A lot of girls do it. And you'd be using your Geos on girls. Let's be honest.
No, I would not for nefarious. I'm not doing. Great. So we've established that I'm using my Geos for nefarious, and you're just decapitating people.
Yeah,
That is
pretty much.
literally why do you want string manipulation?
It's
That's
not
so
string
sus.
manipulation, it's thread manipulation. Oh, and being able to get people to do exactly what you want just by from
Yes, but
telling
in
them.
Code Geass it's cool. I'm assuming in real life it wouldn't be anywhere near as cool.
No,
But in Code
because
Geass
people
it's
wear
cool.
contact lenses.
But in Code Geass it's cool.
Yeah, and in anime, thread manipulation's cool, but I don't think it'd be cool in real life. Oh, what can you do? Oh, I can fucking knit.
The only power that if I was given a chance to have any power, I'd have telekinesis.
Really?
Yes, I changed my answer. I want telekinesis from One Punch Man. Yeah, the green-haired girl is like the top class A.
She's not the top of class. It's S as
Or
well.
S, yeah.
She's not quite the top. I think she's like fourth, fifth.
I'm pretty sure she's the top.
She's not the top.
She's
You
second.
never see the top, dude.
Is she second? Then?
She might be second.
I know she's really high up. Yeah, I'd have her power. Telekinesis is like the most practical thing. You can fly for starters.
I can fly with my thread manipulation.
You cannot. You can Spider-Man swing.
No, because if I can manipulate threads at will, I can literally just manipulate them
What
into.
is thread manipulation? Are you summoning the threads, or are you just like finding a thread and be like,
Yeah, I just find a thread on the floor. No, you like summon the threads in like an area around you, and you can control them at will. You basically have like complete control. I don't know because
so
it works differently.
You're going to cocoon yourself, so then fly in the air. You're like, is it possible? Actually, you probably. Yeah, but
Manipulating
that's just
threads
a
is a
poor man's
po-
telekinesis.
No, it isn't because that's no because you could like I suppose you could grab someone, but the thing the thing about the thread manipulation is so cool is it's like almost plausible, and is like completely related to skill. That like
So is telekinesis.
it's not related to skill. Telekinesis is you've got a power, whereas technically you could have no powers, and if you've got really good like. If you're really used to like using this, like it's literally like a razor wire, so like a fishing wire. You can't see it, but obviously it's there and it's really strong. And they'll have it obviously on the floor, but they'll like go like this with the hands, and like the thread will lift up into the air and like loop around stuff. So like if enemies are running at them, they'll be dodging and go and like it look like they're just dodging, and then all of a sudden the enemy will go for a punch and the hand will stop like this, right in front of the face, and everyone's like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "Huh, I caught you with my thread." And then you'll see like he's actually like this, and he's like strung up in the air, and then they normally will show
you
you,
cocoon yourself.
yeah, and then fly away. No, and then you see the threads, and then he like will pull down on it gently. That's the other cool example of it. Reincarnated as a slime. The really hot ninja dude who's like an orc.
Okay.
He has it as well. A lot of
what?
ninjas use it.
A hot ninja dude.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd think he's hot.
No, you would. He's really hot. Even Rimuru, who's a guy, is like, damn, he's so hot. What?
An orc?
Is he an orc or is he an ogre? He's an ogre.
Oh yeah, it sounds sexy, right?
No, he is because
Sounds
he's humanoid.
vanishing.
He's humanoid.
I'd want him in my stew.
No, he doesn't look like it. What?
That's a phrase, isn't it?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's a phrase.
Oh yeah, then he pulls down on the because the guy goes to attack him and he literally goes like this, flicks his hand, and like the dude's like wrapped up in his like razor wire and he can't move, and then he like slowly pulls down on the thing and it like tightens around his neck and it starts like bleeding, and then he's like, "I apologize," and he's like, "Oh, forgive your insolence this once," and then like goes like this and like the razor wire.
Why would you
flies off
ever
him.
use this in real life?
If people are like pissing you off, you're just like.
Oh yeah, well like I want all this.
when an unnamed person in my group's about to like put a weapon in the game that I don't want, and I go like this, and he's like, "I can't move my hands," and I'm like, "Your insolence has gone too far. I will not forgive you." Pull down his hands fall off.
Even with telekinesis, you can just snap his neck.
Sorry, Scarlet Witch. No, because you'd have to have really specific telekinesis that you could move individual body parts.
Yeah, true. But no, if you go for the one from One Punch Man, because that's an anime one,
Yeah,
I don't think she can move specific body parts.
I don't think she can. She can lift stuff up and throw shit, and that's about it. And she can fly.
Okay, you ram his head into the roof.
I suppose that would do it.
Or you ram the roof onto his head.
That would also probably do it.
Or you pull his pants down.
Kind of sus, bro.
Hey, you're the one doing it, not me.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm too busy with the hot ogre guy from reincarnated as a slime. You need to watch that anime, bro. It's actually,
I don't
it's
know.
actually
Well,
fucking
now you
sick.
mentioned I've seen the first episode.
What, reincarnated as a slime? It's good, isn't it?
Is it the one where there's like I thought you showed it to me.
Where he gets stabbed, yeah.
Does it? Yeah, he gets stabbed, and then there's like a
And
massive
then he's like,
dragon dude.
and then he's like, oh, delete my hard drive, and then dies.
And then die.
Honestly, it is the best. Like, I think it's the best first episode to an anime I think I've ever watched.
It's
I think a
just
lot of
talking to a dragon.
yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of first episodes normally when they start are like dead, like but they're boring because they're obviously trying to set stuff up and things. So nothing really happens, but they set the story in like a really dull way, or they do what a lot of isekais do, where they just start in the action and then they tell the story, the start up later to avoid it being boring and like set up. Because people will watch the first episode and go, "Dead, not watching it." I don't. I watch it all the way through because I understand what it's like. But I think so.
You're just in touch your inner isekai.
Yeah, I can go. Oh, I can tell just from that episode.
I can tell from that episode it's going to be the same thing as the last one.
That's how I know. That's how I know. Yeah, I like that one because he dies and it shows you him dying, and then he's like, but you feel bad that he's died because he's like,
No, you don't, because you don't know who he is.
No, you do. Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't know who he is. But
So I
the way he
feel sad.
talks, because he literally saves the woman, and then he's like, "Oh damn it, I'm going to die a virgin." You're like, that's kind of funny. He's like, I'm nearly 30. I nearly made it to the age of like a wizard or whatever. And then he's like, new perk acquired wizard. And then it shows you him unlocking the perks based on what he says from when he's dying. And he's like, oh, I hope I don't get stabbed next time. It's like new perk acquired stab resistance. It's like I feel warm, and it's like thermal fluctuate. It's like I feel so warm, and it's like thermal fluctuation perk acquired or whatever. And he unlocks all these perks based on like his dying wishes, but he doesn't realize. And then he's like to his friends, like, delete my hard drive.
But then why is he turned to a slime?
Because the best body that they found that's resistant to like thermal damage, resistant to like got slash resistance.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And some other stuff. It matches all the perks that he basically acquired when he died. And then he gets the sage, and then he becomes friends with Veldora Tempest.
What, the massive dragon?
Yeah, he's really cool when he comes back as well because he just makes
I
anime
didn't know
references.
he left anyway.
No, because he gets absorbed into the slime.
I don't know that.
Literally, it's the start of episode 2.
That's a massive spoiler.
And later he comes back as a human, and you've seen the clip. He comes back as a human. He just starts doing like kamehamehas and like Hadoukens, and just makes loads of anime references.
Vaguely, yes.
You need you genuinely to watch it because the new movie comes out this year.
Also, that is not the best opening episode to an anime. The best opening episode to an anime is Death Note. It has the like killing spree scene.
What, in the very first episode?
Yeah.
Is that actually? I didn't think it was the very first episode.
It's the very first one.
But it doesn't have the potato chip one in this first episode, does it?
No, it's episode 8.
Exactly. Episode 8. Best 8 episode of an anime I've ever seen.
The best episode 8 of an anime is the potato chip one.
Oh, 100%. The potato chip is like one of the best anime scenes ever.
Because
I'll write names with my left hand. No, I'll write names with my right. And then I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
Oh no! What's it? Is
I can't remember what it actually
I'll
is.
write names with my left and solve equations with my right.
Yeah.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it. I just love when before he says it, like flips it like, oh, the symptoms are starting. Because he hasn't had an apple in so long.
Yeah.
I don't know why he just doesn't leave him alone and goes steal an apple.
I don't know either, because he can leave him, because he does it. Sometimes he just fucks off.
He just like later into the anime.
You need to get Jump Force.
Oh my gosh, why?
Because I was...
Yes, I know Light Yagami's in.
I forgot he was in it. And I'm playing the game.
It was like a massive reveal in the
yeah,
trailer.
yeah, but I forgot that he was in it. And I was
That's
playing the
what
other day, and he does. And I was playing the story, and he was like... And then he's like, what did he say? Someone said something about acquiring power.
Is it actually
And
his
then
voice actor?
Yeah, and he's like, is it possible to acquire power that easily? And he's like, and then he has a conversation with Ryuk off screen. And he's like, because he doesn't have his death note, and basically Light's just trying to get his death note back.
But then why is Ryuk there?
Because he's still the owner of the death note. He's just lost his death note. He just doesn't know where it is.
No, I swear there's a rule in the Death Note. If you lose it for 7 days, you no longer are the owner of the Death Note. If you relinquish ownership.
No, because he hasn't relinquished out. He basically,
But you
because
have
like
to,
loads
though.
of
Them's the
universes,
rules.
because loads of universes have like collided and stuff. I think it's
Okay.
made like almost like an exception
Oh, okay.
because he still has it, but he can't get to his universe to get it. So it's still in his possession, but he can't
Okay.
get back to get it.
So what's the actual plot in the story? It was just
I don't know. I've not played enough of it to figure it out. I know there's like evil shadow versions of people that like are going around different universes and like attacking people, and you go and fight them. And there's like some evil Thanos dude that's like making them.
making them what?
Don't know. Jotaro's in it.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was in the story because I thought he was added later, but he is in it.
he's in the story.
Yeah.
I thought he was DLC.
No, him and Dio were added as part of the story. I think the only one that's DLC is Jorno, who's busted.
Yeah, because I swear he can get.
One of his abilities is he just heals, and you can just technically keep doing it and go back to full health.
I want Shaggy to be in the game.
They did mod him in, didn't they?
Yeah, someone modded him in and he replaced Vegeta.
Yeah, but why would you replace Vegeta? There's so many. Asta from Black Clover's in it. I didn't realize that. I think he was recently added as well. Speaking of Black Clover, I actually finished Black Clover the other day.
The game still can't be that relevant.
I think it is.
Just Jump Force. I swear it tanked.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's easy. It's just a one button fighting game.
It isn't. You press X, you press Y, and then if you hold down RT, there's like
The opponents
4
die.
abilities to choose from. You can block, you can dodge, you can parry, you
So
can
there's only two attack buttons.
Well, yeah, but you can do. But if you hold them, you do heavy attack, a heavy version of it,
Why would they not make it like a normal fighter where the B button is a heavy?
because the B's a grab,
Why isn't A a grab?
because A's a jump.
Okay, I guess. Is it like the old? Is that like the 3D Dragon Ball Z games?
Xenoverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is actually. It's quite. It's a very similar like controls and stuff to that. But if you watch people actually play, it's really techy because they do like heavy. They like do a heavy hit at a certain point to like break block and all this stuff.
Are you one of those people?
Well, I've learned a Jorno combo. That's kind of annoying.
Of course you'll.
Because like you do like X, then Y, which is like a heavy one. Then you do his like tree one because that's like an uppercut, and it launches them up in the air.
So the tree actually does something in this game.
In this game, yeah. And then if you hold Y, you like float for a bit, and then you do like a ground pound, which knocks them down but bounces them back up as you hit them. And then you can carry on, and you can do at least another 2 medium attacks, which is just Y. Then if you hold the button down and press X, you do the Muda, and if you've got enough bars, if you hold it down, he does the afterwards, and then punches them, and that does like a shit ton of damage. That little combo there, I'll let you have that one for free.
What do you mean? None of that went in. I heard XX then Y, and then you said, "Well, Y is the heavy version." And then you're like, "Oh, if you have enough bar, you can do the Muda."
Speaking of bars,
Is it a 7-page?
speaking of bars, yeah, it's a 7-page Muda because he does the re at the end. Anyway, speaking of bars, we released a Christmas song.
Yes, and if you haven't watched it yet, you're an arsehole.
No, if you haven't watched it, you'll have to. I might private it again till next Christmas.
Why are you gonna private it every single year?
Yeah.
Why?
I only release it like so people don't start playing it too early or too late.
Why would you private a song?
I'm only joking. If you want to listen to it, go listen to it. It's
It'll
really
be in the link
bad.
in the description.
It won't. Just go on my channel.
It'll be a link in the description because now he has to remember to put a link in the description of the video.
No, because I've just said I'm not going to. So
Then he will.
no, I won't.
He will. Put in the comments if you want there to be a link in the description. Otherwise, it's gonna be huge drama.
Oh, don't bring up huge drama. I don't want to hear it. I've had enough. Although I won't see him for the next like 6 weeks
Why?
because he's in a different group, any
But I saw you so much.
Charlie. Hello. Oh, barely.
Did you not see you roast him on the YouTube channel and then be like, "Come on"?
I don't think he watches the videos all the way through.
That's why he watches most of them.
He actually does. He watches a lot of the videos.
That's how you're gonna title this mini clip. Roasting Charles.
Yeah. My biggest hater.
Huge drama.
My biggest hater asked me on a date.
Just the most.
Oh no, because someone might get confused because I'm actually going on a date.
When?
I can't tell you, bro.
Why? Wait, hold on, no. When are you going on a date?
Like next week.
And what you tell me?
Well, I was going to tell you later. Forgot, kind of.
You forgot. Are we discussing it on the podcast?
No.
Um,
Not that they'll ever see it.
we'll discuss later.
Okay, cool.
Why would you think it? I thought you haven't told me yet.
I can't believe I sort of just I did it. I think
You forgot.
I arranged it while I was drunk.
But
This has gone
when were you drunk?
Like New Year's. It was actually New Year's Eve as well. Why has this gone off?
Oh, you actually celebrated New Year's Eve?
No.
You clearly did because you were drunk. So,
Oh, it is still recording. That's okay. The screen went off, and I was like, "What?" And I had to put my password back in to get it back on. But it was still recording the whole time.
how would you celebrate New Year's then?
How did I celebrate New Year's?
Yeah.
I've actually done the least this year because you know what I did last year to celebrate. This year I literally I got kidnapped.
You did not get kidnapped. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
No, I can imagine.
Yep, I got kidnapped. I went to Hanley
Okay.
for a bit, literally a bit. I didn't even get to go to Forbidden Planet even though I wanted to. Joke.
So why'd you go there? What's the point?
We didn't have anything else to do, so we went there, and
You
then
went to the pub.
no, we went later. So then, oh my god, we went. Oh my god, where did we go? Because we were there, and they were like, "Oh, we need to go so we can get seats." I can't remember where we were, but we went somewhere else after that.
Spoons.
It wasn't Spoons.
Okay.
And then the people I was with were like, "Oh, New Year's, it's going to get busy. We should probably head to the pub at 4:00." So we.
Spoons was busy at 4:00.
Yeah, but we didn't go Spoons. They hate Spoons because they're weird.
They hate spoons.
Weird.
Do they hate cheap drinks?
Yeah. This is the reason. So we went to the pub and we were there. We got there about 5. So we stayed there for about 2 hours, I think. No. We got to the pub at about 6 and we stayed there till about 8:00. And then they said, "Oh, it's a bit too long to wait, can't be bothered." So we went home. So we're at their house, and we're like, "Oh, we'll just wait for the countdown here. We don't really care." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I don't mind.
Why didn't you celebrate it here?
I don't want to come here."
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't want to be in my own home. So then they were like, "Oh, yeah," and they were like, "Oh, do you want to stay over so we can have a drink?" And I'm like, "Not really, but if you want to have a drink, then I guess I will." And they're like, "Oh, you can get your dad to pick you up." I was like, "My dad will be plastered at, what is it? Is that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? My dad will be plastered by now." Messaged him. He was like, "I've only had one, so I can still like drive. Do you want me to pick you up at like what, 12:30, 1 o'clock?" I was like, "Yeah, something like that." So originally I was going to stay. Bear in mind, these friends are a couple, and I know what a lot of couples like to do on New Year's Day. Sorry, is it New Year's Eve? New Year's
Speaking from
Day?
experience.
Speaking of, maybe speaking of experience.
I can't speak from experience.
Yeah, Mr. Wizard over here.
Not Mr. Wizard. I had 9 years left until I turn to a wizard.
Please, can you become a wizard?
No.
Well, you
If
never.
I become a wizard, it's like okay, university. I hate it. But I've already done 2 years, so I might just do the 3rd year. If I become a wizard, I should might as well become a grand sage at 40.
There you go. You might as well aim high.
How is that aiming high? I don't want to be the next like Steve Carell, 40-year-old virgin.
No, actually, I think 40 isn't grand sage. I think it's just a sage.
Then when do you become a grand sage?
50.
50's not grand sage.
It is grand sage. 50.
It's not worth it.
It 100% is. What are you now? Like an apprentice mage?
Apprentice mage.
You're an apprentice mage, then you become a wizard, then you become a sage, and then you become a grand sage,
And then you become really lonely.
and then you become a wise. No, then you become a wise grand sage, and then you become a wise old grand sage.
A senior grand sage.
Yeah, and then you become. Then you just die a virgin.
Provided that you actually live that long anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, I think if you make it to that age and you're still a virgin, I personally I would kill myself.
You just give up.
I actually
no
would. There's
point.
no point. If you make it to the age of what, like 50, not even 50. If I made it to like 30 and I was a virgin, oh my god, Sorry, I shouldn't say that because you're gonna. Please don't kill yourself when you get to 30 and you're still a virgin.
I had no intent of doing so.
Well, no, you don't intend to do
put
so.
Down a countdown clock on it.
Have you not? I have.
not.
For you.
I ain't seen before 2050.
I've actually bought you a present. I'm gonna get you a present. Oh my god, no! It'll be a cake that says, "Don't worry, sex isn't even that good." For your 30th birthday.
My 30th birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Hypothetically, right? You don't have the chance to lose it until you're like 29. At that point, would you just go fuck it and say, I'm going to push it over to 30, become a wizard, and then lose it?
What do you mean?
So say you suddenly you don't get a girlfriend or whatever until you turn like 29.
Okay.
Say it's like the end of the summer holidays and you're 29.
Okay.
So it's nearly your birthday. Would you say to her, can we hold off having sex until my birthday because I want to be a wizard? Would you?
No, I would not.
If you were that close to becoming a wizard, would you not just become a wizard?
No.
Oh, by the way, I'd like to put some context. For those people who don't know, if you stay a virgin until you the age of 30...
I'm pretty sure they probably gathered the context.
Probably, but if you stay a virgin until the age of 30, you become what's known as a wizard, and then 40 is a sage.
What's known as that very uncommon term.
You become a wizard. So you wouldn't if you were that close to becoming a wizard, you wouldn't become a wizard.
No, I view being a wizard as a negative.
Yeah, but that is so funny though.
Because being a wizard means you haven't done it since until you're 30.
Yeah, but I can mention it at your wedding.
Wizard. Why would you wait to be a wizard?
Yeah, but I can mention it in the best man speech that me and Harry are sharing at your wedding.
What, that as a wizard?
Yeah. I'm still going to mention it anyway.
So even if I get married before I'm 30, you're still going to mention that I'm a wizard?
Yep.
Why?
Because in my mind, you are.
I'm not a wizard yet. I'm an apprentice mage.
You could so many pickup lines you could do if you were a wizard.
Like what?
Hey baby, I'm a wizard. Do you want to see some magic I can work?
It looks like someone's while you were studying the books.
Yeah.
You would have been reading your spell book.
Trying to see one of my spells. I can make. I'm a waterbender.
What?
Oh my god!
What?
Avatar-based pickup line. Me and you. Hey baby, I'm an airbender. He's just a bender. That was a good one.
How is that a good one?
I think that
How does that
really
help
well.
me?
It doesn't. You're my wingman.
Why can't you be like, why can't I be the airbender here?
Okay.
You got a date next week.
Okay, you be like, okay, hey, I'm the airbender, and I'll go, I'm the waterbender. I can make you squirt, and then you be like,
so you still one up me?
yeah, but you can make a fart, so.
Oh yeah.
Okay then. Well, you could do it. You could do it anyway. You could be like, "Hey, I'm the firebender. I'm going to bend you over because you're hot as fuck."
Why have you looked up Avatar?
I haven't. I've literally just made these. I have made these all myself.
You have looked up Avatar: The Last Airbender pick points.
I haven't. Hey, baby, are you an earthbender because you've given me a rock hard one? Loads of them. It's like my JoJo one.
You can't be single.
I'm going on a date next week, so clearly work.
Next week.
Oh no,
Still
it's
show
like
Spider-Man.
what is like what were my JoJo ones? Anime. This clip's just going to be anime based pickup lines. What was the JoJo one? Oh yeah. It was the
You can call me Zipperman, but later you'll be calling me Sticky Fingers.
Yeah. Call me Zipperman, but later you'll be calling me Sticky Fingers.
For context, the stand in JoJo,
Bucciarati's stand is Zipperman. It's Sticky Fingers, but the localized name is Zipperman.
So that's what he's on about.
Sticky your finger.
And then it's like, arrivederci.
Just as he climbs out of the hole, he's just like, arrivederci.
When does he do that in the anime?
When he's fighting Pesci and Prosecco.
Well, he just emerges out of the floor.
He does it out of the train.
That's why he's just busted. He can just climb into the floor.
He can climb inside of people.
He's just ridiculous.
Yeah, he is. But he still manages to die. Twice.
But he dies and then...
He climbs back inside of his own soul to live. I don't know how he does that.
His ability is so broken he can climb into his own body when he's dead.
Yeah. It's like Giorno's ability is like... He's like you wouldn't think he'd be able to heal people, but in the end, he just like shoves stuff inside of them and then turns it into human flesh and heals them.
He can turn anything into like life, but then he can't do that later on. But then he can do that.
Well, he can because he brought Bucciarati back to life, technically, temporarily. Even though Bucciarati died, he reanimated his body for him.
I feel like George is busted.
But Giorno is busted. He has GER,
Yeah, but the ending of part
which
5,
can beat Goku. Sorry, it can draw with Goku.
You can't beat Goku.
We might be able to. You might be able to get lucky at one point.
I don't think he does beat Goku.
I think a tag team between Giorno and Dio solos anyone in anime.
No.
Who does it not beat?
Well, their abilities don't complement each other.
No, they do.
How do they?
Because if anybody attacks, Giorno resets them to 0. And then Dio can literally, while they're discombobulated, Dio literally can stop time and attack them. And GER can move during stop time. Giorno can't, but GER can.
Okay.
So literally, Dio could stop time.
I think Zamasu Universe would beat them. You can't beat the universe.
No, he can.
He can't reset the. If he resets the universe back to 0, they all die.
No, he'd reset Zamasu back to 0.
He can't do that.
He can.
His abilities are so stupid because it's so vague on what it actually can do.
He basically can rewind time or reset.
Yeah.
He can reset a specific thing back to 0.
But just making it just means rewind time.
No, because he doesn't actually rewind time. He resets Diavolo's ability back to 0.
Well, if he reset like Diavolo back to 0, he just turns like a baby.
I think he probably could do that technically.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Part 5 sucks.
There is some stands that, if you think about it, are ridiculously busted, but they don't use it properly.
Like who?
Like Underworld. He can literally recover anything that's like any memories of the ground because the ground remembers everything. And he literally is like, oh, where did Emporio go? Digs a hole and sees Giorno, sees Jolene like saying, here you go, Emporio, go this way. And he watches which way Emporio runs and then knows where to chase him. He literally can recover weather reports stand disc from the memory, not the actual one that Poochie has. He literally uncovers the memory of it, takes it out, and is like, I've got it now.
Yeah, okay, he's a bit ridiculous.
It is, and he doesn't use it properly. It's the same with the guy who can control the insect things. Another one of Dio's kids.
Control the insect things?
Yeah, the sky things.
Oh, yeah,
the one from the helicopter bit.
He should have lost.
No, he shouldn't. And again, he didn't use his ability properly. His is, I think, is worse than the other two. Like the Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, that was so dumb how he won.
Yeah, but it's busted though.
No, that just had like the best scene though. When the report's like falling, he starts falling into the gun, like Nani as he's falling into the gun.
Yeah,
He's like, I think you will find it took 2 bullets to kill him. He just takes a bullet to the head like it's nothing.
Thing is, though, I don't even know why, because Weather Report doesn't remember any of the people, but subconsciously he's inspired by Van Gogh. But then when we realize his past, why does he give a shit who Van Gogh is?
Also, how does he know that? How does he know that Van Gogh took 2 bullets to die?
Well, Van Gogh, I think, knows that it took himself 2 bullets to die. All of the
but how would he know? Because he tanked the first bullet knowing that it took 2 bullets.
No, I swear Van Gogh dude says it. Actual Van Gogh says, "Oh, you're lucky. It took 2 bullets to die." And then he's like, "Nani?"
Oh yeah.
I think so, anyway.
Because then he turns the report into Van Gogh.
Yeah, but that's what happens. They turn into the fairy tale thing.
It's just so stupid because Anasu jumps out the car into Weather Report and then he falls head first into the gun.
Yeah. It's such a funny scene. I was really looking forward to Bohemian Rhapsody. I think that was the arc I was most excited for.
It's Bohemian Static.
Shut up! It's Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't care. I was really looking forward to that, and they'd made a deal with Disney, so everyone was hoping that the Disney characters that were supposed to be in it would be in it, but they didn't. They just used the Universal ones, so they mentioned like Batman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How cool would it have been if Batman had actually made an appearance though, rather than just a reference?
That's what they referenced Spider-Man.
They didn't actually reference him in the end, I don't think.
Oh no, I swear it's Spider-Man in the manga one too.
In the manga, you see like part of Spider-Man in one of the images.
I do.
And I think they reference Mickey Mouse.
You can't do that.
But that would have been so cool, though. Imagine, though, if Batman had showed up.
And then what?
Or imagine if, like, Anna Sue became, like, the Joker or whatever. And then Batman just appeared and started kicking the shit out of him. And he got Diver Down to go into Batman.
He entered Batman.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that tale of like the goat and then the three like.
I think a lot of
lambs.
them will obviously be Japanese sort of thingy stories. There was another one that was a Japanese folk tale that I know of that mentioned in the thing.
Like what?
I can't remember what it was though.
Oh, well, you clearly know it.
No, but because they mentioned it at one point, I was like, oh, I know which one that one is. Like a really famous one. It might have been the one about the ogre. Yeah, it's the Peach Boy one.
Peach Boy.
The boy who floats down the river in a peach. That they based the whole anime of Peach Boy Riverside off, which is a really shit anime, by the way.
But it's actually an anime.
I told you about it. I watched it like a while ago. Peach Boy Riverside.
It's
About like there's loads of like ogres and stuff that like are really powerful and they have like increasing ranks and they want to wipe out the humans or whatever. And then there's that one dude who's like Peach Boy who like he hates ogres with like a passion. And he has like super strength or whatever. And he like kills all the. It wasn't an isekai because it's just a fantasy one. So it's set in another world.
So it's an isekai. Wait, is isekai mean to be reincarnated in another world, or does it just mean another world?
It might just mean another world. I always get confused between the two. And everyone who's like really like gives a shit about it, it's like, oh no, it's wrong. It's actually reincarnated. It's actually just set in another world. But yeah, it's really shit because it's like the ending. Because I hated it because it's like it starts like randomly and you don't get what's going on. Then they explain the start. And then it carries on. Then they explain the very start, like the whole backstory, like the last couple episodes. I'm like, but it doesn't make any sense. The story's jumping about, and I don't know what's happening. And then their plot twist at the end is like there were actually two Peach Boys, and like a main girl is actually also like a Peach Boy, and has like these superpowers. And I'm like, that's so dumb. I think I gave it like a 6, maybe a 5 or 6.
It's on Crunchyroll.
I think it is, but this is before I watched that stuff on Crunchyroll.
Why did you watch it? Is it on your mouth?
I saw a clip of it, and the clip was like a cool bit. So I was like, I'll watch it then because it looked quite cool and it was quite good, and the synopsis sounded alright. But I'm watching it.
A guy floats in the massive peach tower.
No, that's the folktale that it's based off. The folktale is that there's one day there's a boy who floats down in a peach. And then he's raised by some old woman, and then ogres attack, and then the boy defeats them all with a sword, and he travels around the world killing these ogres. And it's something like that. The tale of the boy in the peach.
Well, by the sounds of it, he's the bad guy. There's only 2 humans with loads of ogres, so he's just wiped out an entire race of people.
No. There are other humans, and the ogres attack humans, eat them.
So he kills. So imagine going to war and then have like all your soldiers killed by one dude.
Yeah, who came from a peach.
Who gave her a peach?
No, who came from a peach. He was in the peach. He was born.
How was he even in the peach?
I don't know. I don't know how the folktale works. I don't know what the meaning behind it is.
Was it a big peach or was he a small boy?
He was a normal-sized bab in a peach.
And no one looked in the room and was like, well, that's one, massive peach.
That's one peachy ass baby.
That's one baby ass peach.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't know how the folktale works.
Oh, yeah, speaking of bad anime, I actually can't believe this, but Evo, like the fighting game, like format of the year.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest games there, and I could not believe it, is the BlazBlue fighting game. Apparently BlazBlue's like really popular.
But the anime's so shit.
I don't know what. You're actually missing something. What was its score now?
It was like 7, I think.
That's pretty decent.
Might even be. I gave it like a 4. You watch it then, and you tell me.
What is BlazBlue on?
Fucking hell.
How'd you watch it?
Illegally.
You shouldn't be promoting poor behavior.
I'm not. Get Crunchyroll. No, actually, Crunchyroll banned me from their Reddit on subreddit. Fuck Crunchyroll.
Wait, what?
I'm banned from the official Crunchyroll Reddit on subreddit on Reddit.
Why?
Because I put a thing in there once. It was about our podcast. It was back when when I promoted it on Reddit and I was looking for the best ones to put it in. and we made one about Crunchyroll, so I put it in there, and they were like, "This has no relevance to Crunchyroll." So I was like, "Okay." So I changed the title so it specifically said Crunchyroll, and then they were like, "You banned from the Reddit." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Spam." I was like, "No." You said I literally messaged the dude saying, "You said the issue was the fact that it was nothing to do with Crunchyroll, but it actually is." So I just made sure that I showed the relevance to Crunchyroll. So the issue that you had, I cleared that up. You then can't tell me off. You can't like ban me because I'm spamming. And you never replied. I was like, yeah, because I'm right. I hate Reddit mods. Arseholes.
The one that I fell out with, and he's like, "Oh, you've been done for spam." And I said, "This can't be spam because that's what you put on your sandwiches."
What? I said something dead funny. What was it? I often do. When we were having the argument with the Reddit mod, and I was like, I got really annoyed, and I just said something. They were like, big boys with the Reddit powers or whatever. Whatever. What? I can't remember what I said. They do act like gods, though. It annoys me.
I messaged someone saying "big boy with the big power."
Yeah, they get really like. I don't know why they're like so abusive of the power. Like
They're just proud of themselves.
I think this is dead cool, right? And
What?
I'll tell you in a minute. I'm setting the scene. I thought this was dead cool, and immediately as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And I put it in the JoJo subreddit, not the meme one, the other one that's just for JoJo related discussions.
Yes. Is it the Star Wars Crusaders one?
I think so, yeah. And I put it in there and was like, "Did anyone else know this?" And loads of people commented being like, "Oh my god, it's actually I didn't know that." Some people was like, "What's this?" And then people were explaining it. So it gained quite a bit of traction, and I got banned for it being a low effort post. Basically, in part 6,
Yeah.
the bit, the survivor stand.
Yes.
Well, the bit where Dio explains where he first came across it, and he's like, these people went hiking in the mountains, and they basically killed each other with like really vicious wounds, whatever. That's based off an actual like thing that happened in the mountain range that he says. A group of hikers were walking, and then they basically were found with like really, really bad injuries, almost as if they beat each other to death, and they all died. And I was like, wait, so it's based off an actual thing? And I didn't know that, and I read the article about it, and I screenshotted the article, put it on the thing, and said, I didn't know that the survivor stand from part 6 was based off an actual thing.
And then you got banned because
I didn't get banned, but the post was removed for it being a low effort post, even though literally I got about like, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but I had about like 7, 8, 9 comments of people being like, some people said, yeah, I know that. I know it's dead cool. Or people were like, I didn't know this. Or someone was like, wait, what's this? And then they were like, it's then someone explained it a bit better. And everyone was like, oh, that's sick. I didn't know that. And I got quite a few upvotes as well. And some big boy moderator came along and went, oh, someone's posted a screenshot and said, did anybody else know this? And like, delete it. That's what a discussion is. What does he, what just because I didn't post my fan art? I'll draw a picture of the article next time and then put it on and then it'll be allowed. So dumb.
Nah, I hate Reddit moderators.
Yeah.
But they're so full of themselves and they spend 24/7 just,
Yeah, they spend their whole lives, they wither away inside like fat obese children on Reddit, and then they get a moderator tag and they feel so accomplished that they have to like. Someone else puts a post that gets more upvotes than them. I can't have this. I must remove it. They can't be more popular than me. I devoted my life to this subreddit.
And then if they can't think of anything, we just put it down as spam.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do because the only person that you can ask to remove like the ban is the Reddit moderator.
Exactly. I don't know what you're supposed to do in those situations. It's dead dumb. If someone, it's like it'd be literally like in real life getting arrested, and you don't go to court or anything. You just get arrested, and the only person you can appeal your arrest to is the person that arrested you.
It is.
It is so dumb. And the thing is though, but it's like. They don't give it to, they don't like check, they just give it to some random, they give it to people. So it's basically, it'd be like me being like really obsessed with pizza, for example. Hear me out. I'm really obsessed with pizza. So then I get awarded the Pizza Police award by the government because I really like pizza. And so if I don't agree with how anyone eats, makes, or anything to do with pizza, I can arrest them.
Spam?
For spam. I can just arrest them for pizza terrorism. I arrest them for pizza terrorism, and if they want to, and if they appeal it, they can't go to court. They have to ask me to revoke the ban, the arrest, and I will say no every single time. And if they say, "Why has this happened?" I'll just ignore them because I don't have a good enough excuse. It should be, if you get banned on Reddit by a moderator, if I want to appeal it, they have to give me a reason as to. They can't just like ban me for spam. And if I message and say, because then it says, if you wish to discuss this, reply to this message. Because if you reply, they never respond on most of them. It should be mandatory. They have to respond, or your ban is like undone. If they don't give a reason, it has to be undone. And you should be able to appeal it to someone other than the person that banned you.
Yeah.
You should be able to get an official like Reddit moderator, someone who like moderates all subreddits.
Yeah, but then they'd be just like taxed 24/7 because the actual Reddit moderators are useless at their job.
Exactly, yeah, that's
They are
true.
useless.
Yeah. That's why you should get actual Reddit moderators, not just some random person who's really obsessed with the thing. I get so annoyed by the Reddit moderators, they do it all the time.
It's also like the Twitch moderators as well. Everyone was like ranting about those because they just ban anyone for like any reason.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for when we get famous enough to have our own subreddit. I can just ban people that insult me. Someone posts like a screenshot of me in one of our videos where I look stupid. It'll be like the Higo face and be like, get a load of this guy, and I'll just ban the post for spam. It's gonna be great when we're big time enough to get a subreddit.
You ban them for a low effort post.
Yeah, low effort post. To be honest, I don't think I'd ever do any of that sort of stuff. There is some posts like if people are like promoting their own stuff and things like. I'm all about because we do it. I'd be all for people promoting stuff, but I think you'd have to do it within reason. I don't think people could just go in and post it because I don't want it to be like a shit post. I don't know. We'd have to decide when we actually make a Reddit when we're famous enough.
We can't do it now, can we?
No.
You're contemplating it, but we can't do it.
I'm contemplating it, but if you make one too early, it stays dead for ages, and then it's hard to revive. Where if you're big and then you make one, it quickly gains traction and you can use it. Because you have to be able to use it constantly. So in these videos, for example, we'd have like a 10-minute segment where we go over the top 5 posts of the month.
Of the month?
Well, we only do monthly episodes.
Yeah, okay.
So the top 10 Reddit posts of the month then.
See, I thought London was going to be our big time to gain like loads of subscribers.
No. Speaking of which, we are actually performing in February.
Yes, we're performing on 4 different days.
We've got the 4th and the 5th. We'll be in Bristol Anime League. One of our previous videos where I said about us performing live, if you go on that video, you'll be able to go and get tickets to all the events.
Are we heading down to Bristol Saturday morning?
We'll either do it, yeah.
So I have to come home on the train Friday night.
Yeah, okay. I think we'll go Saturday morning then. Yeah, come watch us live. So 4th and 5th, we're in Bristol. The following weekend, which is the...
at 7.
Yeah, what date is it? 5th at 7, 12th.
Okay.
On the 12th, we are in London. Big event.
Yeah, one of the stages.
We're on the second stage during the cosplay masquerade.
If you're not participating in the cosplay masquerade and think it's just a vanity fair, then you should
cosplay masquerade's overrated anyway.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bother going.
Do you know what isn't overrated?
The Mangaloids podcast, so underrated.
Get to see our amazing costumes.
The thing is, though, right, when we perform live, everyone without fail, people watching, the people who run the events and stuff, have always said that it's actually like a proper good laugh. Like, I was talking to Mel, and there was the other person that was working there then, and they said, no, we actually really like having you guys in because it's a lot more chill for us. And we get to actually just sit there and enjoy what you guys do. They said it's just dead chill. It's actually funny. And they said literally they like watching us perform because they don't have to do anything. It gives them a chance to just relax.
Yeah, true.
That's fair enough. That's the whole point. It's not like we're there to like gas everyone up.
Now the important thing is, can Callum figure out when we're in Birmingham?
It's the 19th.
Oh, that was. So you can add 7 as long as it doesn't go over a 10.
Yeah, well, that's true. As long as I don't have to carry a 1, I can do it.
Carry the 1.
And then the 19th we're in Birmingham because unfortunately I'm busy on the 18th, so we couldn't do birthdays.
What?
And then we'll be doing other dates.
What?
I've got a showcase event.
Okay, no, I understand. Puts the showcase event ahead of the Mangaloids podcast. Well, this could blow up, you know. We could become millionaires. Give it a few years.
Oof, I hope so. Because then you don't have to be a teacher, and I don't have to do boring things I don't want to do.
We have very good lives ahead.
Yeah. What was I saying? You made me lose my flow. Yeah. Our live events are actually, I think, well, now that we've stepped up our podcast like online, I think these are getting a lot better. But I think our live events were so far advanced compared to the podcast.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like our live events were like better than the live performances of our podcast were better than our actual podcast. But I think now we're taking a step closer to matching the live events by doing these longer ones,
Yeah.
adding stuff in. The only thing we need to get more viewer participation. I think that's the thing.
What's having like submit some sort of form beforehand.
Yeah, guys, you'll need to go into this Google Docs that I've got in the description. No, I'm joking. Although I was actually thinking, I'll say this. I'll say this now rather than just later, but we can talk about it later again.
Later
What if
as
we
on the
did-
podcast or later as in personally?
Later is in person.
Later
Sexy time.
as we're all tucked into bed now on the floor being spiked by 700 feathers.
Yeah. With your Guldolphin armor or whatever it's called.
Like Gulpy Oriana.
Gulpiori armor. That's the one.
I will make it a thing. As soon as we become famous, I'm going to start
Why would
publishing.
you invent an armor that like kills you?
No, guys. Let's say you what you doing?
Keep going.
Let's say you were in charge of sending out a bunch of soldiers to war, but you thought that they were all evil, and so you concocted some armor, which, when you pressed a button, sent spikes on the inside of the armor to stab them. Imagine if, like, during World War II, Hitler actually was like, he decided that he was against all the Nazis and then used his armor on them.
So
And literally, like, saved
you've
millions.
created a weapon of mass genocide
Yes.
in an item of clothing.
Also, I won't call it a piece of body armor an item. It's like a full armor suit, an item of clothing.
Where would the spikes be hidden within the armor?
No. It's like the armor looks normal, but then when you press the button, it reveals like holes. It reveals like holes, and then the spikes come in.
But where are the spikes?
Haven't you ever seen like just a cartoon?
So it's not real.
No, it is real.
It can't be real. Where are the spikes?
The inside the armor.
How thick is the armor?
It's like that thick.
Well, they're not very big spikes, then, are they?
No, but it's because as soon as the spikes come in and they pierce you, you'll bleed to death.
So the whole point is they bleed to death rather than the spikes actually dealing any real damage.
Well, yeah, because it's more painful.
Wow.
I thought this in year 7. It was a long time ago. And also, imagine, let's say, your enemy, you're at war with
Okay.
other people, and your enemy, is like your enemy is like really evil people. You could do a Palpatine, democratically get elected to be the right person in charge of their team, and then distribute out this Gulpi Ori armor to murder all.
Surely someone at least would know what the plan is and would stop you.
No, because you do a Palpatine and get democratically voted.
Yeah, but if you have to manufacture... yeah, okay, whatever, man.
Someone's going to see this video and actually implement it in the future.
Yeah, we're going to hear about, like, the Taliban or whatever being, like, wiped out by...
Being wiped out by the Gulpi Ori armor.
Yeah. There's because the Ministry of Defence definitely watches this video and they're going to go, just jot that down.
That's a good one.
MI6, be like, take that. Do you know what's weird? I think I'm being recruited for MI6.
You won. Every single time we do the podcast, you say something more and more ridiculous. You are not being recruited to MI6.
No, I think they're grooming me. I think I'm being groomed for a job in MI6.
I'm pretty sure you've got to reach out to them, not they reach out to you.
Well, no, because they've recognised my talent clearly.
Okay, what have you done? Explain.
Well,
Explain. I actually physically cannot think of a scenario where this is real.
You know when you get targeted ads and stuff.
And you got a targeted ad from MI6.
I keep getting ads popping. I've never seen it before, and then all of a sudden I've seen...
Is it in your junk folder?
No. As in, it's advertised on the side of the screen at times and stuff, and things that it's not even like I suddenly went because normally you'd get, if you went job hunting, you go you look for certain jobs or whatever, and then you get adverts for jobs in that area. Haven't done any of that. I've not done anything outside of what I'd normally do, and I've suddenly started getting adverts that saying you would be perfect for MI6.
I can tell you right now, there's no one at MI6 specifically trying to send you
Well, maybe not specifically me then. Maybe they've got like a targeted watch list of like potential, well, genius individuals. Obviously, I would fall onto that list. And so they've seen it and they've put me on that list, and so now I deliberately get targeted advertisements for MI6.
Which MI is the good one?
6.
Is it? I think it's MI5.
MI5's the Homeland one. MI6 is the international one.
But it was actually where you can be a spy abroad.
The cool one, yeah.
It's not that cool though, because you just go abroad and die.
You don't. It's actually being a spy is dead boring. You just have to do more work. Because basically what you do is to leak the UK secrets here, because I definitely know what it is. Basically, you get a job in a different country, working for like some big company or whatever.
Yeah.
And all you do is do your normal job. You do a job, and then you just have to write extra reports back to MI6.
So it's loads of work.
Yeah.
That can't be all about being a spy.
Well, because you've got to blend in, don't you? So you basically, your whole job is to keep tabs on like certain companies and in certain industries. Because you get to go abroad and do shit abroad. So you might go to America or whatever.
Like 70-hour weeks. Oh, sounds amazing.
Well, no, because you could get like a really. To be fair, I might do it. I can't now. I've just put it on the podcast. But
they see you abroad with a mustache. It's like,
yeah. Well, no, I might do it. And then like get like an IT job, because they really want IT people. Get like an IT job.
Who's they?
MI6. Okay. And the world.
No.
The whole world needs me. The name's McCready. Callum McCready. Oh my God, it's Callum McCready.
You're literally making it more difficult for you to be recruited.
Yeah, but I'm not actually going to get a job at MI6, am I?
Let's be real. I've gone to MI5 website before.
Yeah, because you're not good enough to get into MI6.
MI5's the cool one.
And you decided you want to be a teacher.
MI5's the cool one.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
Why is it?
MI5, you protect the country. MI6, you cause havoc to the world.
No, MI6,
under the name of the country.
No, MI6, you protect is like intelligence gathering. Whereas MI5 is security.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, there was an entire intelligence section on the MI5 website.
Well, yeah, but that'll be like anti-terrorism and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
Protect. It'll be security of the country, whereas intelligence is collecting intelligence of the other country to help stay secure in this country. Anyway,
but would you rather secure the country or intellect other countries?
No, you both are securing the country. One's securing them from ourselves. One's securing us from other countries.
Hey,
I'd rather do the one where we secure us from other countries.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Okay, and how does that link to our conversation currently at the moment?
Just a good quote.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's why MI5 is better.
Well,
because people
as they
in this
say,
country will become evil, and you got to protect the country from evil people.
Well, actually, I suppose that does fit with the quote.
Busted buckaroo. Cameron won. Callum.
No,
I have my name on podcasts.
I opened up my ass and everything other than my internal organs fell out.
What?
That's just a common quote.
It's not.
It is.
How is that a common quote?
I opened my ass and everything other than my internal organs fell out. I think it's something like that. I may misquote it.
Okay.
For those people on YouTube, the quote is going to magically appear floating in the air now when I remember what it actually was.
That actually isn't a quote.
No, it is.
That generally is not a quote.
It is. I'll show you the quote later.
Right, show me the quote later.
Oh wait, I think I deleted it. Oh crap.
It doesn't exist.
It does exist.
It doesn't exist.
I've got it saved somewhere. I'll ask my sister later. She knows what it is.
Okay. Yeah, but that's not a quote.
It is a quote. I think we should just make random inspirational quotes, I think that's... I have done it before.
Like the classic, I just opened my head and everything but my internal organs fell out.
Yeah. Well, I made that one, remember when we used to have the, what was it called? Sixth form. Mrs. Harris sent it out every day.
What,
the thought for the day?
Yeah, thought of the day.
As a joke, I made one of a thought for the day. And nobody realised I was taking the mic. And they all like senior leadership team.
I think I remember.
It was like it was the prospective parents' evening.
Yeah.
And I was sat with all of them, and Mrs. Harris's son was there. And as a joke, I was like, have you ever said to your mum, can I make a thought for the day? He's gone, no. I was like, I want to make one. He's like, should we go speak to her now? I was like, yeah, but what would it be? And then my original one was, if you eat kebab for breakfast, you're a wrong 'un. And he said, that can't be your thought for the day. I was like, okay, well, I'll think of something actual. Like, then I came up with like a really dumb one.
Do like catching the balls like that.
No, it was like, if you don't shoot, then you're going to miss. Or something
Yes,
like that.
that one it was.
Oh no, it was something like you won't miss if you don't shoot, or something dead dumb like that is dead obvious. And then I was like, okay, I'll come up with a dead stupid one that's like really dumb but sounds inspirational. So then he was like, okay, we'll go see you now. So I went to speak to him. And I was like, if I made a thought for the day, would you send it to everyone? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool.
Wait, did she actually like put your name underneath it?
Yeah. She said if you make like one of the images as well and just put it over an image or whatever and send it to me, I'll just attach it to an email and send it out. So I was like, cool. So then I really, really took the mick, and it was like, so I went with, it was, if I then changed it to be dead inspirational. So like, if you don't shoot, that's like a guaranteed miss. You can only reach your targets if you aim, or something like that. So it's still really dumb when you think about it, but it sounds like you think of it and you go, yeah.
Did it have like Dash Cal McCree at the bottom?
Yeah, underneath it had Dash Callum McCready. And the image I put behind it, I literally just typed in swing in a tree swing on a hill with a sunset. And it was literally a tree with like a swing on it, like a really cinematic photo of this tree on a hill. So you could see like the forest all around it, and then the sun setting in the background, and it was like really, inspirational.
And why don't you use the picture that we eventually used for our quiz for the World of Hunger quiz, the famine quiz,
the famine quiz, the lack of daily required nutrition quiz.
I actually still can't. I so basically
Anyway, hang on, let me finish the story quickly. Yes, I sent it to her, and then eventually she sent it out, and I had so many teachers and like senior leadership members like coming to me and be like, "Oh my god, I saw you thought for the day." They're like, "That's really thought provoking. Have you got any more?" I was like, oh, I suppose if there's enough requirements, I can release a few more. But then we got COVID, and I didn't get to come up with any more. Mr. Beardmore kept talking to me about me and beliefs and values. He'd just sit there and he'd go, "I'll come up with another inspirational quote," and he'd hit me with something stupid while taking his glasses off and staring off into the distance like that. And I'd be like, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Weirdo. But yeah, so maybe I should just start releasing inspirational quotes. Fun.
No, you should.
It's like a hobby. I should
put on the Reddit.
That'll be it. I was just thinking
Every
that as
single day,
subreddit.
a different thought of the day.
Yeah. What were you going to say? You can't
I
remember.
was just talking about during lockdown, in order to everyone to stay in touch. We once a month we all made like a 10-question quiz each, and then we'll do it over Discord. And we invited someone who Yes, we invited someone to do it, and I just remember he said, "Oh, can we do it on anything?" And we were like, "Yes, you can do it on anything you want." And he says, "Is it okay if I do it on famine?"
Oh yeah, that's why we did it.
That's why we did it, because he said, "Oh, can I do it on famine?" I was like, "Who the hell invited this guy? Why would I want to do a quiz on
Yeah, because when we
famine?"
said you could do anything you want, we meant like stupid stuff. So like, what was like some of my original ones? I can't say some of them because some of them are inappropriate. But we did like dumb ones.
I remember I did a maths one, but every question was just really, really stupid.
Yeah, you did an anime one, didn't you? It was like, guess whether this is a real anime
it's
or
a real anime, one that I made up.
we should start doing that. Random little sections from like next. So you could come up with 5 for 1 month, and the next month I have to come up with 5.
Oh yeah, and then I also had the one where you had to it was like 5 different questions, like a different girl, and you had to say what like race she was from Asia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, and no one could do it.
Yeah, no,
so she's like the most obscure ones that no one's ever.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun actually. Yeah, but then he came along and was like, we're like, "Oh, yeah, you can do it about anything," and he went famine. And so to take the mick, you did like yours was hunger, wasn't it?
Yeah, my mom was like just like the most normal one.
Yeah, yours was like hunger. Then mine was like lack of daily required nutrition, and then Ryan's was like lack of the necessary daily required nutrition to provide sustainable growth
For the
for the average human or something like that. Something dead long and
yeah,
dumb.
we all did the exact same quiz.
And they all got gradually worse and worse and worse.
If we did that quiz, but we all had a different like first 3 questions where you had to read a case study beforehand.
Yeah, because me, you and Ryan were on the call, weren't we? We were just taking the mic and saying stupid shit, and then we're like, oh, let's actually do it.
I messaged the group chat saying, don't forget to read your case study. And then put the case study in the group.
Me and Ryan did the same thing, but for our case studies.
No one knew what the case study was.
It was dead dumb though, because yours was like an actual quiz, like it could have been a genuine like geography quiz about a
Apart
famine.
from the background picture.
Yeah, but then we had the same background picture and we all stretched it further and further for each of our things. And then mine was like almost like a jokey sort of one where it was like the questions were quite dumb, so that it'd be like which would like put these famines in that order, but it was every time we used the word famine we put like lack of daily required nutrition or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like there was actually like 4 actual famines, and then there was like KFC running out of chicken, and then like the big hunger of 1892.
I remember the big hunger.
But then the answer was like KFC running out of chicken was number 1. And then the big hunger of 1982 or something was like midway through the list.
That's my very fun game. Oh yeah, and then in Ryan's case study was like what the Irish potato farmers.
Yeah, but his was an absolute shit show. His like presentation was so dog shit, but it was so funny.
The best part was that I had like genuine answers for all the questions that I did, and then when it came to yours and Ryan's quizzes, you changed some of the answers to the questions to obviously wrong answers.
Yeah,
just to throw people off.
Yeah, because we had the same questions. Your quiz had the same questions as ours, and then Ryan had the same questions as
I'm pretty
mine.
sure when it came to Ryan's, most of the people had left after yours
because they were so annoyed. That was so funny, man. I wish everyone in the group didn't hate me, because that sort of stuff was fun. I'd love to do that sort of stuff again. Oh, good times, man. Back when I had friends.
Well, then shortly after that, we started playing Minecraft, and then I ain't spoken to them quite well.
Oh god,
Minecraft's the worst game to ever exist. You can't even deny it. It's just,
I've played worse games.
Like what?
Come back to me on that one.
Come on.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I've got to go all day.
No, I don't think we do. How long have we? I reckon we go for another like 15 minutes.
How long has it been for?
Hour 17.
Oh, that's pretty juicy. Now let's hope to God that it's all recorded properly.
Yeah, I hope so as well.
Well, if it hasn't, what are we going to do?
Cry?
What if we don't cry?
No, I'll cry.
I don't think we won't cry.
Can't say that. No, we need to advocate mental health. As a sufferer of mental health, grow up. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's okay to not be okay. Bro, I need to fucking write that down.
Is that what the first thought? Yeah, as soon as a subreddit gets made, the first thought of the day is going to be, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, although I think that's already a quote, so I don't think I can really steal it.
I'm actually pretty sure it's one of the biggest quotes. Like you can have.
It's okay to not be okay. Oh, let me think of another one. Oh god, what? It needs to be something humorous. So it'd be something along the lines of, what did you call me?
Thomas.
Oh, no. It needs to be like, if you block your toilet, you flush it with water. Don't be afraid to cry.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, because if you shit, life's like a toilet. You know, okay, let me break it down. Life's like a toilet, right? You know, you shit in the toilet. Life shits on you.
Okay.
How do you get rid of shit in the toilet? Flush it. The toilet cries. How do you get rid of life shit on you? Cry.
No, you
Flush
don't.
it away. You flush life shit away with a good cry.
Crying does not fix your issues.
I think you'll find
makes it easier to
there's
deal with
some
them.
exactly some
But it doesn't fix
issues.
your issues.
Some issues can be fixed with a good cry.
Like what?
Helps you get over things and helps you think straight. I think sometimes if you just let it all out, if you're like really stressed and angry or whatever, upset, I think if you just cry, let it all out, I feel like that helps massively deal with stress.
I think it's a better solution than
Killing yourself.
getting angry.
Oh. Well, it's definitely better than killing yourself.
You know, it's definitely better than being angry.
Yeah.
Anger is the temptation of the light.
Do you know what makes me laugh?
Ah ha ha.
Um,
I was demonstrating yours
Yeah.
while I laughed was just in case we didn't
yeah,
realise.
because they haven't laughed at all once during our podcast so far. I'm glad you have reminded them what.
I don't think they've actually gotten this far.
No, definitely not. If anyone is still here at this point, like, hit me up.
Send 3 love heart emojis in the comments, and he will send you 20 quid.
How can they actually get in contact with us? Because they'll only be listening on Spotify probably.
His Instagram.
No, if you come over to the YouTube, lol, and on our most recent video, put like Spotify gang or something like that, or comment and reference this point in the episode somehow, I will love you forever. And if you come to one of our anime events, I'll give you a $5.
He did last time.
I actually did give someone a $5 last time. If you have made it to this point in the episode, you comment on, if you go on YouTube and are subscribed and you follow us on Spotify, and then I meet you at the Anime Con, and you show me all of these, and you like be like, yo, I was still listening. I listened to all your episodes. I'm a big fan. I'll probably give you a $5, crisp high five. I'll give you whatever money I've got in my wallet.
A crisp high five.
We actually have some pretty dedicated fans. I can't even lie.
We do not have dedicated fans.
No, we genuinely do.
OG Gangster. Or was it OC Gangster?
One of them.
OC, yeah. Legend.
The Cardiff
He's
dude.
like- huh?
The Cardiff dude. He's actually pretty dedicated. He watches like pretty much all our videos.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like they only 2 though, because quite a lot of them love us at the time, but then we never watch our videos.
The Attack on Titan cosplayer, I can't remember the name.
Yeah, no,
Apologies.
I'm about.
Yeah. Still watch our videos and liked my Instagram, the one promoting the
Konnichiwa weebs.
Konnichiwa weaves that was sat in this seat.
Nah. I thought it was in a different room that looked identical to this one.
Oh, so
He actually has many rooms in his house that look identical to this one.
yeah. Oh my god. This is completely off topic, but I played like one of the coolest game missions.
What?
No, video game missions I think I've ever played before.
What was it?
So it was I was playing Gotham Knights, and the game itself is pretty mid, but there was one mission where you get abducted by the Court of Owls. Spoilers, but whatever. And you wake up.
Court of Owls.
Yeah. It's cooler than it sounds.
Oh yeah.
You wake up like on this like stone table, and you get up and you're in like a labyrinth. So like everything's like dead foggy or whatever, and you stumble for a bit, and then you get your normal movement back. And you walk through this labyrinth. You know, it's in like a narrow corridor, stone walls, black stuff like dripping down the walls. It's supposed to be quite freaky. And you walk forward, then you go around the corner, and your dude has some like witty one-liners or stuff to say and whatever. And then you walk forward, and then these spikes come out of the wall, and I saw them at first, so I just slid under them because I'm not a BTEC gamer, you know.
You play Gotham Knights, it's kind of B10.
Yeah, and then I went under the next set of things, and then there's a flamethrower in the ceiling that I didn't see, and it kills you. And when you die,
gamer.
no. The thing is though, when you die, because basically me and my little brother play at the same time, and you normally go through everything together, but you get split up. And the game acknowledges this because then you call out to your partner. So I was playing a red when he was Nightwing, and it goes, Nightwing. And he's like, oh, he's not here. You're like, no. And you're completely separate at this point as you're going through it. And then when you die, rather than just respawning or whatever, you wake back up on the stone table back at the start.
Mm.
And you guys are like, what the? And then he walks forwards, and you get like into like, there's a bit of like an open room sort of thing. And there's like a painting on the wall that shows your death. And he's like, haha, nice trick or whatever. And then you go, and then if you die again, another painting appears of your next death. So there's like, it basically makes an art gallery out of all the times you die. It's dead cool. And then you get through that bit, and then you come to a dead end, and you're like, what the hell? So you turn around and come back, and the room's changed, and the layout's different. And you're like, what? And then you go to the next bit, and obviously if you die again, you get another painting in the gallery, and it keeps coming as many times as you die. Eventually the walls could just be full of paintings. It's really cool. And then...
I'm assuming your wall was full of paintings.
No, I only had 3 paintings.
You died 3 times.
Well, I dodged the first 2 spikes, then the flamethrower bit caught me because I didn't see the flamethrower in the ceiling. And then I figured it out straight away. And then the next one was dead dumb because it was like, you've got like a saw, then a blade, and they spin in opposite directions. And there's like 3 of them throughout the room, and you have to like perfectly time your way through. I died on that one, and I was like, what the hell? So then I tried sliding through, But then when I slid through, I accidentally caught myself on one of them, so I died again. So then I tried just crouching and slowly walking through, and then I did it. There's another spike thing or whatever, and then basically then the next bit's like dead freaky and it like fucks with your brain. I actually did that bit for my little brother because he got scared.
You got scared?
Yeah, because there's like a clone version of you that like sprints at you with like a freaky mask on and stuff like that, and then you see like scary things, and then I completed it, and I was like, because he was the host, I had to wait for him to come and open my door for me. It's like I was hoping it'd just drag us through a cutscene, so I had to go and get his controller and do it for him.
Oh my god.
It was actually fun though. It was one of the coolest missions I think I've ever done in a game, because he did it really well where you're playing co-op and they split it up and then they acknowledge that you've been split up and separated, and then obviously you meet back later and he's like, "Oh, I got you out" or whatever, and then the whole place
it's like,
moves.
So No Way Out?
Sort of like that, yeah. But the game reminded
you played
me.
Without me?
The game reminded me.
Without me?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I said I'll play it again with you if you want. I'd already played it before.
You know what to do.
I've forgotten now. We should play it again.
You know what to do.
I only remember one section and it's dead obvious. So.
You know what to do now. Okay, it breaks my heart's actually broke.
Yeah, but we could take different routes than me and my cousin took. Like we could go like the stealth route because my cousin doesn't like stealth.
Oh, we'll go with the stealth route.
Because my cousin's stupid. No
Wait,
thanks.
there's different. That's what you know.
Yeah, so you can take a choice as to whether you try and stealth your way out of the prison or you just like go out guns blazing.
How long is the game?
It's quite long actually. We'd probably be able to get it done in like 2, maybe 3 sessions.
Okay, well, we'll stop playing.
Oh no, actually no, because if Harry plays with us, then we only get about an hour.
An hour?
We only get an hour if when Harry goes off at 10 o'clock until like 11, because you go off at 11.
Yeah. Fine, yeah, no, I'll install the game. We'll do the stealth route.
Yes.
I prefer stealth to guns blazing.
To be fair, I in Gotham in like actual fighting games, I'll do a mix of both, but I do like going guns blazing because if you've got a good combat system. But for most normal games, I will just stealth it. Especially games that require stealth. But I do like I like going in guns blazing because I like the feeling of being able to kick the crap out of a load of people.
Well, see, I have those experienced, like, stealth because of my Rainbow Six Siege.
I'm actually a professional like stealthist.
What
Hence why MI6 want to recruit me.
They don't want to recruit you.
They do.
Why would they want to recruit you?
Genius. It's like the army wanted to recruit me because I beat a general at chess.
He keeps making stuff up. He's just unbelievable.
Do you know what's weird? I had a dream last night.
That never happened.
No, you're right, it didn't happen. But that was going to be my excuse for why I joined the army. I nearly joined the army now. No, the Navy, sorry, not the army.
Why do you want to join the Navy?
No, I nearly did.
That sounds too rebellious for you to do. Why do you want to join the Navy?
I was going through a rebellious phase.
I said rebellious.
Oh, sorry. No, I did actually.
Rebellious.
Oh, sorry. I was going through a rebellious phase and I wanted to join the Navy. I was going to join the captain program, so I was going to get in as like an officer straight away. And that was the only way I'd do it. And then basically there was like they're dead stupid about the whole thing, where it's like they were like, "What are your GCSE grades?" And I'm like, and because my GCSE English was like 1 grade below the requirements, and I was like, "Yeah, but I've got I had exceptional circumstances to my GCSEs." And he went, "Because we have a lot of applicants for the officer program. We don't accept people who had like exceptional circumstances." I'm like, "Yeah, but how many of them actually did like A levels and did something successful?" He's like, "None of them." But like, he was like, "Not many, but we only go off GCSEs, so it stays open to everyone." And I'm like, so I've literally got a higher level of qualification.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
It's so dumb. I have a higher level of qualification than what they're asking for, but because what they're asking for is slightly lower than they expect, they won't let me do it.
It's like you've literally proven that you have the determination to go further than what they want. Or like, no, it's not fair.
It's because I was really ill for GCSEs, which is why I had my exceptional circumstances.
Yeah, you had the earworm.
It wasn't an earworm, but yeah. And then I literally proved by then carrying on doing GCSEs, like quite high level stuff as well. I did maths. I did further maths for a little bit.
What was your predicted grade for further maths?
It's not important. Computer science and physics, they're pretty like high level. It clearly proves like a level of, because they only wanted GCSEs for a basic level of competency. I think I've got a pretty advanced level of competency. I might reach. I reckon if I went back after I've got like a university degree, and been like in like computer programming and been like, yeah, I've got a university degree in computer programming. Like, yeah, but what's your GCSE English grade?
Or no.
Yeah, that's quite literally what it is. It's so dumb. But yeah, I nearly joined the Navy. That was a tangent. What was I talking about originally?
What was it? It was it was something like MI6, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I almost jumped an Navy though. And then you were talking about how you beat like some general at chess. You're not on the
That was
Rouge.
that was gonna. That's what I based it off though. That's what my excuse was gonna be. Is that people would be like, why did you join the Navy? And I'd be like, well, I beat an army general in chess, and he was like, join my squad. So then I became an officer.
So you're telling me that can't be. There's no way that you sat down and thought to yourself, you know what? If I join the Navy, my reasoning
That'll be my backstory.
Because I beat an army general in an arbitrary game of chess.
Yeah, that was gonna be my backstory.
And so I got promoted to officer of a Navy crew.
Yeah. That was dumb. I said I want to be an officer. Not my dream. My backstory is pretty solid. But I was like, yeah, I want to be an officer. They were like, well, you can't be an officer. Do you want to be a weapons developer? And I was like, no.
Is that what it said to you?
Well, because originally I applied to be a weapons engineer, so I basically make weapons and like maintain the weapons on the ships. And then I was like, oh wait, no, actually, I want to sign up to the officer one instead because they didn't offer an officer version of that pathway.
Where did you find it was?
On the Navy site. The targeted advertisements that the Navy kept sending me.
So it wasn't on like Indeed.com?
No, it wasn't on Indeed. And I went on the phone and like had interviews and stuff with like these army officers. I got really far in the application, to be fair. So then I was like, actually no, I will only sign up as an officer. I don't want to just be someone's bitch. I didn't quite say that to them, but that was the reasoning. I was like, I only want to do it as an officer because I've got a high level of competency. I'm not just going in as like a nobody and working my way up. I want to start at least as an officer because I want to go up the ranks. And they were like, okay, well, we don't offer an officer program for the weapons engineer, but you can just go for the it was like the warfare tactics officer. So I basically would be like in command of a squad, pretty much. I wouldn't actually have to go out and fight.
Experience of being on the ship.
No. Obviously, they train you up with it and stuff, but I'd be like doing like managing tactics and stuff like that. So like, you know, in charge of tactics.
Yeah, I'd hate to though, because one mess up and that's it. You put like this cost for life of your entire crew.
What no?
I'd hate to do.
Sounds like a them problem.
And then you problem because you'll probably be put in jail for it.
Yeah, no, court martial. That's probably about it. But it's only if you did something dead stupid. You know, accidents happen.
What, you murder your entire crew?
What if I murdered them then, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So then they said, oh, you can do the officer one, and then when we like went through the process and stuff, they were like, oh, actually, your GCSE English grade is one bullet because I did really bad in GCSE English. Because what?
Which one language or language?
I don't know. I think it was language that they wanted, and I got a 6, and I needed a 7.
Oh, see, I mean.
Well, exactly. I did. So you could become an officer in the army if you wanted to, just off that for some reason. But it was dead dumb because I was like, well, I genuinely will admit I did bad in English because I was missing for half the year. So I didn't get, because it's all about like practice and you have to learn and memorize stuff. So I didn't get the chance to do that, and so that's why I think my English flopped so much. But yeah, I thought I was dead dumb that they're like, yeah, you can't do it. That's how I nearly joined the army.
Yeah, because you became Lelouch Lamperouge and beat an army general.
Yeah, that's true.
Why don't you become an officer in the army instead of a navy?
It is the same thing. It's the same thing pretty much all the way. But I wouldn't want to join the army anyway.
You never ever become an officer.
I might be able to as part of a postgraduate thing, because this was before this was like after my first year at uni. So before I changed course, it was then when I was deciding what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember you suggesting different things because you hate university.
Yeah, I did. It was my course. This new course is actually okay. It was just the first course.
Oh, well, you know, imagine having a good course.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I had a really weird dream last night.
Why are you always thinking about me?
No, it actually wasn't anything to do with you.
It did. But last night you said to me, "Oh, we're gonna have tons of fun," and then
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't last night. Last night I did have a weird dream. It was like you reminded me when you still got the quizzes. It was literally like everyone from like sixth form all met up again in a McDonald's, dead random, and we all just sat there. It was dead weird. And then Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars was there. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, the other night I had a dream that one day. No, I had a dream. It was dead weird. And you know them dreams that are like, they like affect you like proper. Like you wake up and you're like, oh my god, bro, I've had an epiphany.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I had a dream that I had a child. It was,
So you had a child, or you gave birth to a child?
no, I had a child, and it was like it was almost like a secret child. So I didn't realize I had a child until like someone was like, yeah, this is your child, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got a kid. I was like, yo, bro, this is sick. And then I was like looking after this kid.
So you're ready to settle down now?
No, but it was dead weird because I woke up and was convinced that I had a child. And then I had to like convince I was like going back and I was like, no, I didn't have a child. I thought I had a child basically it was based on what happened last New Year. And that's basically what it was. The whole thing was about. And I was like, oh my god, I've got a kid. And then I woke up and I was
wonder what happened last New Year.
I woke up and I was like, oh wait, no, I don't. Never mind. Whew. But it was weird because it was like it took me a good like half an hour to like I was like torn. That's so weird, don't you think? Have you ever had a dream like that?
No,
where you suddenly like lose sense of what actually is real and what isn't.
Yeah. It's very fair though.
So weird. Yeah, no, same. It's so weird. Well, there was one time I had it in high school. I'm not telling you who it was because you will laugh at me ridiculously.
You tell me later.
I had a no, I can't. No, I'm not because you will laugh at me. I had a dream. I had a dream that one day, my little boys and no,
Shut up.
I had a dream that I had a crush on a girl in our year, and I woke
What year
up.
was it?
What year was it that happened? Like it will have been year 9, 10.
Okay.
Because that's when I sort of spoke to her. So I had a dream that I had a crush on this girl, and I didn't have a crush on this girl, but because in this dream I was so strongly convinced that I had a crush on her. I woke up and for about a week I was like I was like fighting inner demons. Like, do I like her? Do I not? I don't know.
Is the person's initials OF?
No.
It's not.
No. Wait, I dated her in like year 7.
Yeah, you could have got feelings again.
No, I didn't even have feelings to begin with. Ryan literally just went up to him and was like, yo, will you date Callum McCready? And she was like, oh my god, yeah.
Was it someone in our class?
Yeah.
What?
She was in our maths class.
But only our maths class?
She was in some of our other classes. She was in like all of our classes. We'll talk about it again later. I don't want to say anymore. But it was so weird because I didn't like her. I hated her.
Oh, is it KB?
Yeah.
It was actually.
It actually was.
Oh my god.
No, I know. It was so weird because I know for a fact that I hate her, and even then I knew I hated her. But for some reason, I had this weird dream where I had a crush on her, and I woke up being like, "Do I have a crush on her? Do I not?" It was so weird.
Oh no, that is bad.
Yeah, and then after a week of being around her, I was like, "Yeah, I definitely hate her." That was so weird. Things that's happened a few times, but that was the one that sticks in my mind as the most prominent one because I despised her with a burning passion. But because I had this one dream where I didn't, I was like, do I not? What? I was so confused.
You were confused, sexually.
I was so conflicted. I was like, I hate her though. Why do I not hate her? And then I remembered that I did hate her.
And then you saw with you like a whole new like set of goals.
Yeah, I hated her even more. So weird.
That isn't looking very.
Yeah.
What would you do if let's say this date next week, one thing to another, and you get her program hand, yeah, and then she has a child.
Wouldn't happen, but yeah.
But let's say, for argument's sake, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
What would I do? I would genuinely raise the child to be the greatest child that's ever existed.
The greatest child in the whole world.
Yeah. Well, like if by mistake I wasn't intending on having a child and had a child, it wouldn't happen because I'm not an idiot. But like, say for argument's sake, you did
because I'm not
because you're a wizard. say it did happen. I wouldn't abandon it or whatever. Thing is though, I think she'd the girl or whatever would probably be really freaked out because I'd genuinely be adamant that I'd be like, okay, you can't be an arsehole. This is both of our responsibilities. You've got to. I can't. Because some people are like.
There's some people like our age or just like ourselves together,
Yeah, the people just like toss it off and be like, not toss it off. That's wrong. You don't toss off a child.
Toss it off. Whoa! Toss off a child.
Yeah. No, some people just like just like toss it to one side and are like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I'm still young. It's ruined my life or whatever. I feel like if you've got to the point where you've messed up or you've decided and maybe you don't agree that you've got a child,
It's still your responsibility.
it's completely your response. At that point, I'd obviously be carrying on with uni and stuff, but I'd like, as soon as I finish uni, I'd get my job. I'd say to the girl, I'd be like, we have to move in together because it's not right to not live together. I'd be like, we have to move in together. We have to, for the child's sake, stay in contact, stay together or whatever. And if for some reason we suddenly fell out or whatever and wanted, like, I was gonna say divorce, but we wouldn't be married, I'd be like, I'd say we have to maintain contact because I hate that sort of thing of the separation. As soon as there's two worse things. If you develop a separation with the child so that they have to pick between the two,
Yeah.
that's really unhealthy for a growing child.
Yeah.
And the other thing is then when they're a bit more mature, if you stay together, but you have a very clear split, like they hate each other and they don't get on, that's also really problematic for the child because the child knows it's their fault. And it genuinely messes up with the kid.
Yeah.
So it's a really difficult one, but I would be deadly. I'd like, people are like, oh yeah, whatever, you got a kid.
yeah, so
I would genuinely, people who have I would genuinely become the most serious person you've ever met. And I'm not serious at all, but I genuinely become deadly serious. But that's one thing that's like really like, like it actually genuinely matters to me. Is in like if I had a child, any sort of family that I have, any family that I choose, genuinely is like the most important thing to me.
Yeah, that's why I put a lot of respect for our daddy friend, who
BC.
Yeah, VC.
Yeah.
Because he chose.
It's actually mad respectful because
he chose it was his responsibility to actually keep the child. And
yeah, and even when obviously I don't know the full story, but I know they've sort of split and they're
still I think they're still keeping in contact.
I think that's the right thing to do. I think if you do want to split, you can't. Because a lot of people do this and it happens in court all the time, and it's genuinely so sad to see that for some reason women get automatic like priority custody of a child.
Yeah,
it's so depressing. And Judge Judy said it. She's like, legally, a woman has no more responsibility over a child than a man. If it's a level playing field, there's no greater responsibility between the two. And I think that's a really big thing. I feel like if you have a child, I feel like automatically people just assume that it's the woman's responsibility. I genuinely would become the way of the house husband. I
would become the way of the house husband.
I genuinely would become the house husband sort of thing. I would like.
Probably not to the same degree of ridiculousness.
No, because I'd still have a job or whatever. But it's one of the things that I'd like, because it's just like my later life. It basically just like my life has just taken a step further than I'd expect it to. It's come a bit earlier than I was planning. And
it's always coming early.
Everything always comes early. Why have we suddenly gone into a dead serious conversation about having a child? Yeah, I'd be deadly serious about the whole thing.
No, it's all right.
I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I'd have it in me to be able to just like abandon it or brush it off as like a small matter. It literally, I genuinely would just become like, because it's weird to. I don't know how to explain it. Because it's like when you become older and you get married and you have a kid and stuff like that. That's almost like this serious part of your life. Whereas right now we're in like almost like the freedom part of our life.
Oh, freedom! I mean, how captive at the moment.
Freedom, but you know what I mean. It's almost like the jokey part. You sort of do what you want whenever you want. But I feel like I would become dead serious, and unfortunately, my life would be over at that point.
I think it'd be over that point.
Yeah, it would.
You still got a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I think.
So your life's over. You become a whole shell of what you once.
Well, you do eventually. That's what kids and marriage does to you. That's why I'm not planning on it for a while. But yeah, I think on
life is over.
It is. Ask anyone
before it even begun.
Yeah, I think after that serious conversation, that's a good place to leave this month's episode.
How are you going to release this as like 5-minute episodes? Because I don't really think we stayed on main topics for 5 minutes.
We did.
Did we?
Yep. So we've got the child one. We've got. I can't remember, but I remember as I was going through, as we were changing subjects, I'd be like, "That's a good one. That's what another one. That's another one."
Just doing all the calculations in your head.
I was running through calculations in my head. That's how I beat that general at chess.
On that note,
anyway, guys, thanks.
Note of BS.
Thank you for listening. Potentially, thank you for watching.
Is it going to be a cookie channel?
Oh, cookie channel. Jitsuane. Oriwa lolicon nondayo. There won't be because I don't think there's any bloopers, to be honest. That's the sad thing. There's not going to be any more bloopers. The bloopers will probably be released just as a video, but we don't have any. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're on Spotify, head over to the YouTube and subscribe. If you're on the YouTube, if you want to see the full video,
Spotify and subscribe.
if you're on the YouTube, head over to the Spotify, subscribe. If you want to see the full, obviously uncut whole podcast,
Go to our Patreon.
go to the no, shut up. Go to the
I
Spotify.
think we should do that. We should have like a censored version on YouTube and then a Patreon version which is all uncensored. Just us naked the whole time.
Oh, that'd actually be sick. To be fair, can we actually do that?
No, we're not doing that.
I've said that me and you need to release at some point, obviously when we get more famous, probably next year. That's my goal for next year. We're famous enough that people would buy certain merch related things that we released. But I don't want to release merch like normal people do, where it's like hoodies and stuff. I want to release like really stupid customized merch. Like we released like a calendar, and it's just the photos of me and you doing like in like cosplays.
Okay,
Sexy cosplays, me and you like release like a calendar for it. Or like we release body pillows eventually. And stuff like just
You
stupid.
have to do one where one of us is Jabba and the other person is Princess Leia.
Yeah, okay. We just release stupid shit like that as our merch. That's personally what I want to do. Maybe we do hoodies at some point, but that's where I would want to do with our merch
In a year's time.
Yeah, hope that's my goal in a year's time, where we've grown enough that we're able to do more stuff like that, more interactive stuff with our retained viewers. That's the goal. Right. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
Make sure to check out all the links in the comments, or just head over to the YouTube or Spotify, or vice versa. Thank you very
Adobe
much.
Classic.
Brilliant.
I think that peaked the microphone when I did.
Yeah, definitely did. All right.
Hey,
Goodbye.
Bye.